Here's your news for July 23, 2020. And your headlines for today include: released WWE superstars take an epic photo in front of Impact Wrestling logo, sends a strong message to Vince McMahon. AJ Styles rips Paul Heyman, says he threw several people in WWE under the bus. Sammy Guevara comments on his AEW return. 2 title matches set for next week's AEW Dynamite. Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, and more executives sell a lot of WWE stock. Finn Balor confirmed for a big match on NXT next week. WWE pitching new ideas to keep Kairi Sane around. Road Dogg unhappy with Scott Dawson for taking a shot at Shawn Michaels on his birthday, and more. We're kicking off today with news from Impact Wrestling, as the company recently picked up several former WWE superstars who have shown exactly what they think of their ex-employer. On his Instagram, Luke Gallows posted a photo from behind the scenes at an Impact show that features himself, Carl Anderson, EC3, Brian Myers, Eric Young, and Heath all stood in front of the Impact logo, with some giving middle fingers that'd make Steve Austin proud. Myers, formerly known as Kurt Hawkins, was even showing off the "I Got Fired" shirt that Heath is selling on PWTs, as it seems the group are pretty happy being back together in a different company. These 6 stars aren't even the only former WWE talent with Impact, as the new Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo was under Vince McMahon's company until recently, and time will tell whether anyone else makes the move to Impact. Over to AEW now, and after weeks away, Sammy Guevara is back with the company. During this week's Dynamite, the main event between Chris Jericho and Jake Hager taking on Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy saw a post-match beatdown, where the Inner Circle were helped by Serpentico. While Tony Schiavone speculated that Serpentico is the newest member of the group, the masked wrestler revealed himself to be Guevara. On Twitter, Guevara was very pleased with himself, sharing a photo of his return with the caption that the Spanish God is back. After horrid comments made about Sasha Banks came to light, Guevara had been suspended and was made to undergo sensitivity training, something it seems he's now finished. Sammy's first match back will take place next week, as the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus will face the entire Inner Circle in what should be an explosive 10-man tag team match. Next week's show will also see 2 title matches, as Kenny Omega and Hangman Page will defend the AEW World Tag Team titles against the Dark Order's Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, whilst TNT champion Cody Rhodes will put his title on the line again. With 2 title matches plus a 10-man tag plus more, next week's Dynamite will be stacked to say the least, as they're clearly going for the win in the Wednesday Night War. Speaking of titles, Eddie Kingston failed to win Cody Rhodes' TNT title, but that apparently won't be the end of him. In a post-match promo, the 19-year veteran said that on this occasion, Rhodes was the better man, but that won't stop him learning and moving forward, and promised that he'll be back. Using thumbtacks in his first AEW match certainly helped Kingston turn some heads, and though he wasn't victorious on this occasion, we might just see the Mad King in AEW again down the line. Speaking of AEW, Chris Jericho has been able to do a lot in the company since it debuted, but the former AEW World Champion won't be setting sail anytime soon. This week, Jericho spoke about his upcoming Rock and Wrestling cruise, which was supposed to set sail next February, though because of the ongoing global situation, this voyage has now been postponed. Instead, Jericho's cruise will set sail on October 21st next year, and this has also affected AEW, who had plans for a live Dynamite on Y2J's boat, which will also have to wait. Jericho's cruise is just the latest major event to be postponed due to the ongoing situation, and it didn't help that the ship was supposed to depart from Florida, which has been particularly hard. Now fans will have to wait until October next year to travel the seas with AEW, when hopefully things will be back to normal. Back to WWE now, as reigning Intercontinental Champion AJ Styles has once again spoke about his issues with Paul Heyman. Speaking on a Twitch livestream, Styles has previously said that he felt Heyman was the one who pitched for Gallows and Anderson to be released, which is part of why the Phenomenal One asked to be moved to SmackDown. He said, "I can't be around Paul Heyman. I just can't stand him. You wouldn't believe how many people that I worked with despised this guy because of his lies, and he'd find ways to throw them under the bus when he screwed up." Styles speculated that it's Heyman's apparent bad reputation backstage that led to him being removed as Raw's executive director, adding that the only person Heyman can blame is himself. Clearly, the Phenomenal One isn't a fan of the former ECW magnate turned WWE personality, and if Styles is to be believed, he isn't the only one with an axe to grind. From one former world champion to another now, as John Cena may have been the top star of Vince McMahon's WWE for a decade, the champ and the boss didn't always see eye to eye. One person who was around during Cena's early years in WWE is Rico, who spoke recently to Sportskeeda about how Vince McMahon didn't see much potential in the future 16-time world champion. Rico said, "McMahon didn't understand Cena's character at all and was going to cut him. He didn't understand. He said, 'I don't get it, I don't get it.' And he let him run with him for a little bit, and look what happened. Face of the company." It's a good thing that Vince gave him another chance, as by the end of 2002, the white meat plain trunks Cena had evolved into the Doctor of Thuganomics, and it's possible that wrestling as a whole would be much different today if McMahon had cut John's career short. Speaking of Vince McMahon, there's been more change behind the scenes this week, as several top executives have sold some stock. According to multiple SEC filings, Vince McMahon, Stephanie, and Triple H also sold stock, with the chairman selling 12,762 shares. At $46.26 a share, that sale netted Vince roughly $590,370, while the game's 10,628 shares that he sold earned him roughly $491,651. As for Stephanie, her sale of 11,167 shares has earned her $516,585, whilst Kevin Dunn sold 21,809 shares, earning him over $1 million. In recent years, the company's share price has gone up and down a lot, and it's always interesting to see the top folks backstage unload some of their stock. Over to NXT now, and the Gold brand has addressed the future of NXT and North American champion Keith Lee. 2 weeks after capturing both titles with a win over then NXT champion Adam Cole, Lee appeared this week to vacate the North American title, claiming that he's limitless but doesn't want to be limiting the opportunities of the rest of the roster. William Regal's huge announcement came next, as he confirmed that a new champion will be crowned in a ladder match at TakeOver 30, with a series of triple threat matches announced to decide the participants. It didn't take long for superstars to compete for a shot at the gold, as this week's show saw Bronson Reed defeat Johnny Gargano and Roderick Strong to earn a spot in the match. The next triple threat qualifier will take place next week, as it's been confirmed that Finn Balor, Timothy Thatcher, and Dexter Lumis will compete for a spot in the North American title ladder match. NXT also showed off the logo for NXT 30, which is fire, literally, and fans will have to see which superstars burn brightest when the show takes place at either the Performance Center or Full Sail Live on August 22nd. Back to the main roster next, and Kairi Sane's contract reportedly ended after this week's TV tapings, but WWE are trying to stop her from leaving. Before the current global situation, there were reportedly discussions about her returning to Japan to serve as a company ambassador, and though she could be leaving, she'd remain as part of the WWE's extended family. According to Fightful, Sane will be on next week's Raw as it was filmed this week, though it's unclear in what she'll do. They added, WWE has made a big effort to retain Kairi and pitched several ideas to keep her on the payroll and more specifically, away from other companies. The report noted that the company have discussed the idea of Sane being a company ambassador back in Japan, but also said that there's been talks of her becoming a trainer. WWE clearly doesn't want the Pirate Princess to go to any other company, especially not AEW, and if allowing her to move back to Japan and be with her husband helps prevent Sane from showing up on Dynamite, then the WWE seems to be all for it. One person who knows all about leaving WWE is Eric Young, who has said plenty about his time in Vince McMahon's company. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, Young said that his time on the main roster was much different than NXT, and spoke about just how difficult it was to get things done out of the Gold brand. "The system is broken. It's hard to get a word in. Even when you're doing nothing, it feels like you're just trying to fix people's mistakes all day. There's no creativity. They want everyone to do things the same and be the same and sell the same." WWE's creative and writing system has changed dramatically since EY's release on April 15th, and given that wrestling news sites would often make a big deal over him just appearing on TV, it's clear just how little he was used. Recently returning in the main event of Slammiversary, Young is being treated like a much bigger star in the other company, so don't expect him back with WWE for at least a long time. Now, yesterday marked the 55th birthday of Shawn Michaels, and one person who celebrated in their own way was Dax Harwood. In a tweet, the former Scott Dawson celebrated HBK's birthday with a picture of who he described as the greatest wrestler ever, but instead of Michaels, shared a picture of Bret Hart instead. The real-life bad blood in the 90s between Bret and Shawn is no secret, but when Miro asked Harwood why he didn't tag Shawn in the post, the Road Dogg Jesse James said Dax didn't have the guts to do so. It's no secret that FTR are big Bret Hart fans and have praised the Hitman over the years, but it looks like the Road Dogg isn't the biggest fan of them. It would be interesting to see if FTR responds to Road Dogg's shot at them, especially given that his former DX partner Billy Gunn is now also in AEW, working as a producer. Back to WWE now, and we previously reported that SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley called out Stephanie McMahon, but it seems the former hugger has had a change of heart. After Stephanie's announcement regarding the Raw Women's title, Bayley said that the WWE's chief brand officer is done for, a tweet that Stephanie took notice of. In a subsequent tweet, though, Bayley described her harsh words as a typo and defended herself by saying she meant that she hoped Stephanie's day was done so she could relax. As if this backpedaling wasn't enough, the role model thanked Stephanie for the opportunity that her best friend Sasha Banks has received. Since turning heel last year, Bayley hasn't backed down from anyone, and whilst the SmackDown Women's and Women's Tag Team Champion still claims to be a role model, it seems even she knows not to cross a McMahon. We're looking back at WrestleMania 36 next, as night one of the company's weekend-long event saw The Undertaker defeat AJ Styles in the acclaimed Boneyard match. Regarded by many as one of the Dead Man's best matches in years, fans got to see a more down-to-earth version of the Phenom, though there was something fans didn't see. Whilst speaking to Ad Age Remote, Stephanie McMahon spoke about how rock legends Metallica were supposed to perform. She said, "Metallica was going to be a part of WrestleMania. Their music was going to be a part of Undertaker's entrance. When everything changed, they said, 'We still want to be a part of this if we can. We're not backing out.' We were very grateful to Metallica for helping score the entire sequence." Whilst Metallica weren't able to appear live at WrestleMania due to the ongoing situation, their song "For Whom the Bell Tolls" was part of the video package, and "Now That We're Dead" was used as the Dead Man's entrance theme. On the final episode of The Last Ride, The Undertaker seemingly confirmed his retirement, and if this is it for the Dead Man, having Metallica play a part of his final moments is a fitting send-off for the Phenom. And finally, today we're ending with news from Vince Russo, who, much like Rey Mysterio, is having trouble with his eye. In a tweet, Russo confirmed that he was undergoing surgery for his eye, and joked that there'll be trouble if he comes out looking like Sloth from the Goonies. About 6 hours later, Russo posted another photo where he thankfully looked like himself, as it seems the surgery was a success, and we'd like to wish the former wrestling writer a speedy recovery.